Hello, dear fire signs. This is your July 2020 reading. I'm gonna start by thanking you for watching my videos. If you would like, you can subscribe to my channel. You can share with your friends. You can like, comment. I love hearing back feedback about the readings, and if you have any ideas or any anything you would like to say, just feel free to go right down below and comment. You can also, if you wish to contribute to the channel, you can send me a PayPal or a Venmo. They're all down in the description box. The timestamps are going to be there too. The decks that I used are all listed. And also, if you would like to contribute to a cause that's important to me, there are a couple of links towards donation programs to Black trans people. So if you would like to help me, not directly, but through, it's not really me, it's Black trans people, but it does help me because it matters to me. So feel free to go right down below and click on those links. Some of them are really cool. All of them are really cool. And if you have any suggestions of other Black trans people programs or organizations that you'd like to offer for me to put under here, I would love that. So yeah, keep in touch. You can also book personal readings with me. Just send me an email. It's all down below. And I'm going to start right now with Aries. Here's your July 2020 reading. So, hello Aries. I hope that you had an amazing June and that things have been flourishing for you. I'm going to start by showing you the cards that showed up. I haven't seen these cards yet, so we're going to look at them and then we're going to interpret them, okay? So we have the first card, the Knight of Swords, also known as the Escape Plan in this deck, this beautiful deck by Cristy wrote. We also have Softly, Softly, the Tender Touch. Here it is. Gorgeous card. We have Justice. We've got I Do Good. We have Masculine / Feminine. We have Miracle Healing. We have Synchronicity. And it says in this card, your prayers and questions are being answered by synchronistic events. Notice them in order to increase their flow. Then we have the Five of Pentacles from the Tarot Erotique. We also have the King of Swords. And finally, we've got Isabella. Yes, the timing is right for this new venture. A happy outcome follows your positive expectations. Beautiful. Okay, Aries. So I see right away that there is a lot of balancing. It's sort of, July is going to be kind of like a balancing act for you regarding different opposite energies. So we see here different things, right? We see the Knight of Swords, which is very masculine and active. And then we see Softly, Softly, the Tender Touch, which is very feminine and passive. We also see the actual masculine and feminine card. We see Justice balancing a scale, right? You see her holding in her mouth the scale of balance. And then we also have like these different energies that talk about, like, this is a little more of a feminine type of energy of feeling kind of feeling sort of left out, or feeling sort of like you don't belong. And then the very masculine, elegant, inner truth and inner power card of the King of Swords. So there's like power and then lack of power. There's a lot of balancing energies here. But it's all in order for you to find healing and be able to be more in touch with yourself. Yeah, and really be taking actions that will make you feel good about yourself, rather than taking actions that make you feel, you know, like you don't like yourself. So besides all of that, I'm seeing that it's like everything is working the way it should be working, because synchronicity showed up, right? So it's this is all about, and then Isabella too. Both of these are very positive cards that talk about happy outcomes, and just messages that the universe is trying to send you, saying that you are on the right path, even though it feels sometimes like you're lost, even though it seems like there's no salvation. This card here, it will, I mean, you can even see it in this deck, it's, but in other decks, it'll also show some people who are homeless out in the street, and they're not seeing that there is a house or a church, right? Here in this case, it's like home is right there. Like, it is right there. It is within you. It's up to you to recognize it and enter it, rather than, you know, thinking that there isn't salvation, that you are, you know, that you feel so lost and so alone. You have yourself, you're your own home. So go back to that. It's right there for you. The more you take care of yourself, the more you do good, you take good actions that make you feel like you're proud of yourself every day, the more you will be connecting to this feeling of feeling at home. You are supposed to be your own home. Don't look for externals to you know, to find your home. You need to feel home with yourself. And then, you know, outside of you, you might find a feeling of home, but it's not going to be there all the time. And this is why we need to work on ourselves being our own homes, and looking at that part of ourselves that's right there, asking you to be your own salvation, to do the job, to do the good stuff, whatever it is, be it, you know, help the planet, help people who need it. What makes you feel good? You know, what makes you feel like a good person? Act that way. Act that way, even if it seems like a selfish thing. It's actually not, because you are helping someone through the process. You know, even if it does have a little bit of self-involvement, it's still reaching out to someone and trying to help them in some way, using your privilege to, you know, to raise people up who are not being raised right now. You have a lot of power within you. You have a lot of inner knowledge, inner truth. You are sitting with that, with all of that knowledge and all of that truth. You're a very logical being. You have mastered a lot of your mind. You know things about your mind more than you did in the past. So you've grown to sit on this throne of inner truth, inner power, analytical power, you know. So believe that and know that it doesn't have to be something that you spread out to the world. You just know, and that is really beautiful. Like, quiet power is really beautiful power. And when you're able to find home in that quiet power, that's when everything works together, you know. Yeah, so about this Knight of Swords energy and the softly, the tender touch, I think it's been kind of a battle for you to go from this very critical type of mind, almost aggressive sometimes, where you're like really picking at every single detail of how you think life should be lived and how you're gonna take action on it. And it's pretty cutting, you know. It's kind of like it's a very it's an aggressive type of card. And the tender, softly, the tender touch is the opposite of that almost. And it's asking you, it's saying that you don't need to work hard in order to receive. So sometimes we take these like very active decisions, these very like cutting sharp, like let me get in here, let me get what's mine. And this is basically saying that you need to start allowing things to come to you rather than you going and getting it. Because that is what needs to be balanced, is this masculine and feminine force. Like, you have lived your life very much this way of knowing that you have to go after it and you have to break your back and you have to really give all you got, but you actually don't in order to receive. You can receive, and you can be soft, and you can use your mind in order to shift your perspective of how you receive. If you think that you only receive if you give, then that is going to be a problem at some point. You have to learn how to open up, allow things to come to you, and really try that, because you're learning a lot about your mind and a lot how powerful your mind is. You see the Knight of Swords and the King of Swords. So with these two, what I'm gonna say is that, you know, this is not trying as hard as this. You know, this is very much you coming from this past of like needing to go and get it, you know. And the King, he's got it. He's got it. He does not need to work hard to get what he needs. He can receive, allow, he can open up, he knows himself, he knows his mind, and he knows how the mind works. And he knows that being open and allowing is actually a trick of the mind. If you change the perspective, and if you work every day with this idea that you can open up and allow abundance to come, it will come, because your mind is powerful. You might not have believed that in the past with this Knight of Swords. You might have thought that you had to actually manifest materially in the material world in a very active way. And it's not active anymore. It's passive now. It's letting things come to you, letting things arrive, you know, receiving. This is what the feminine does, right? And I know it's very binary here with these forces, but it's what we're talking about. Literally, what came out for you is masculine and feminine. So, you know, pondering about how your life has been, and how it can change, how it can be different, how it can be easier is the word, or more intuitive, more, just less difficult. Like you might have worked a lot for little money in the past, and now you're like changing your mind, and you're working with your mind and understanding your mind better to know and grow into a place where you are gonna work less and get more money. So it's all a mindset, and you work with it, like work with your mind to start thinking that way, like, oh, I'm gonna work just a little bit and I'm gonna get so much money. Like every day, start your day that way. Even if it isn't like that yet, think about it that way. Think about it like, oh, that's how it is. Okay, so I'm gonna have lots of money and I'm gonna work however much I want to work, or I'm gonna work a little bit and then I'm gonna have some enjoyment time. I'm gonna relax, I'm gonna chill, because maybe my life has been very masculine, and I need to go into this more feminine, more quiet power type of situation so that I can balance my scale. Justice comes out when things need to be balanced, okay? Yeah, it's all about balance with you, Aries, this month. It's a balancing act. And I do think that with you guys, it's from masculine to feminine. It's less and less work. It's more and more receiving. It's more and more abundance. Work on your mindset to receive abundance. Heal the past. Heal the poverty mindset, the lack mindset. Heal that. You can heal it. I am here to send you this message. This is what Spirit wants to tell you. This is going to be a miracle for you. You're going to be so happy that you are able to be in one with your mind and learn the powers of your mind and how it can actually change your reality if you change your mindset. So like I said before, I'm gonna read these two one more time for you, because this is kind of like the result of what is going on with you, where you're heading towards, the more you are able to embrace your more feminine side. So let me just take a sip of tea. So with Isabella, she's saying, yes, the timing is right for this new venture. So there's something new too coming. A happy outcome follows your positive expectations. So there's something happy that is coming. With your positive expectations, you're going to reach a new happy time in your life. And then your prayers and questions are being answered by synchronistic events. So the things that happen in your life that are little tiny messages, the animals that show up, the numbers that show up, something someone says in the street that you heard on a movie just the other day. Catch it. This is all the universe trying to speak to you. It's the unconscious collective, okay? Trying to get straight to you. It's like a channel, and you need to be open to listening. And when you are in this very feminine, receptive mode, it's so much easier to actually, if you do magic, I would recommend doing magic about divination or anything that has to do with intuition, working with the moon, working with your senses, working with the yin, right? All the yin energy, work with that. Notice them in order to increase their flow. So yeah, the more you notice these synchronicities, the more they'll come. And it is the best thing you can do, is like really give attention to your intuition, because that is going to be you also more practically working on your feminine receptive side. The more you notice, the more you write it down, talk to somebody about it. Just don't let it pass you by. These synchronicities, they're really fantastic signs, and it's an exercise for your intuition. So keep doing it. And yeah, I think you're really gonna balance yourself out in July. You're gonna work a lot on that, Aries, and I really love that. The last thing that I'm receiving is like, aim to be at the center. Try not to go from one side or the other. Try to center yourself. Think of the things that center yourself, and do them. And if you have already like a lot of energy on one side, like if you are more of like a yang person, which also, don't lie to yourself saying that you're yin, because if you're like, really be honest with yourself. Like, is your lifestyle what you're telling yourself it actually is? Think about it, okay? Don't come to me saying that that you live a yin life when you know that you're outside all the time, okay? And you're like doing shit all the time. Like, no, like really be honest, because that's the only way that you can actually find balance, is by looking it straight in the face. You know, when you go to AA, when you're an alcoholic, you sit down, what's the first thing you say? Hello, my name is, I'm an alcoholic, right? So we have to admit to ourselves that it's been happening in order to change it and to balance. And if you want to balance yourself, you have to notice that you have not been yin enough. You have not been inward enough, and you need to go into that inward space. Okay, I'm calling you out, Aries. I'm sorry, but it's very, very important for you to come to center. Come to center. Find your home. You've got lots of power. You are an incredibly powerful sign, and you have so much goodness to do in the world. You have so much healing to do. And if you are courageous and bold enough to say, okay, I am doing this, then that's when you can change. That's when things can evolve, okay? So balance out your masculine, feminine energy. Balance yourself out. Be receptive. Be femme. Come back inward, okay? Like really, like if most of your life has been yang, you have to do a lot of yin work, okay? So yes, I think that's what I'm seeing, and I'm really excited for you, because this means that you are gonna be able to find home within yourself, and that's all that I ever want for anybody in this world, no matter what sign they are, is if you are happy with yourself, I am happy for you, okay? So I love you very much, and I hope you have an amazing July. Thank you for stopping by. Please share this with your friends if you liked it. If you don't like it, that's okay, because it's still good for my channel that you watch this. And I hope to see you next month. Kisses, bye. Hello, Leo. What time are we at? We're at 24 for Leo. Hello, my darling Leos. I hope this month of June has been really good for you. Thank you for being here. I'm going to show you the cards that I took for you, and then we're going to talk about them and interpret them, okay? So we're starting with the Lovers. Such a beautiful card. Then we have Seeing the True You. So beautiful. Then we have the Hierophant. Look at that. We've got I Am Accepting. We also have emotion / intellect. Rise above problems. Make a decision. It says, feeling stuck or indecisive? Listen to your intuition and make a decision. Then we have the 7 of Wands from the Tarot Erotique by Jessie J. The 10 of Swords. And lastly, we got Daniel, the angel of marriage. So he says, I am the angel of marriage and I am assisting you right now. So what do I see here? Let's see. Okay, Leo, so there's a lot here that is coming. It's basically like I feel a pull towards the self, like a pull towards the inner world, a pull towards the wisdom that you carry within you, that is very old, ancient wisdom. It's almost like you might be like connecting a bit with your Akashic records, and like learning more and more about past lives and things that have been before. So like really connecting to your knowledge. And even if you don't really believe in past lives, about the things that you have learned in this lifetime that have been very difficult for you to learn. Yeah. There's a lot about the relationship between yourself, the relationship that you have with yourself, and the relationship that you have with others, that people that you love, people that you appreciate. And also about things not being perfect and having to accept certain things the way that they are, or not necessarily having to, but learning that if you don't, you're actually not integrating everything. You're not, and it might be that it's just a mirror to a part of yourself that you have not been able to fully embrace. So this is why I think seeing the true you is here. This is a lot about us not having to blame ourselves for our traumas or our triggers or the things that are difficult. This is not about that. This is about, or it is about that. It is about not blaming ourselves for the things that make us afraid, and make us, nervous or anxious or anything like that. And it really touches deep into your soul and everything that is within it, rather than just some parts of yourself. It also talks about you not seeing yourself through other people's eyes anymore as much as you used to, or needing the validation, for example, that you looked for outside of yourself. It's more like your relationship with yourself is evolving, and you're seeing yourself in a more truthful light, in a more honest way, in a more loving way. You're communicating with yourself rather than needing to communicate with the external world to find the validation. This is very wise. It's very wise stuff. It's really connecting deep within yourself. kind of hard to even explain it in words, because I feel like some wisdom is like it's just so deep that it's almost like, yeah, it's almost difficult to put words to the depth of wisdom that can come from you relating to yourself in a way that you have never really related to yourself before, or that you have been working on relating to yourself for a while. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah. This is affecting your relationships outside of yourself, though, because overall it is a mirror, right? So the more you connect to yourself, the more you're gonna see that, like, in your relationships with others. This is, I think, why Daniel is here, talking about relationships, to commitment, and like, what are you committed to in your life? Who are you committed to? This can be marriage doesn't have to be only about your partner, your lover. It can be anything that has to do with commitment. I'm getting really big Juno vibes right now, goddess Juno, which is actually the goddess of commitment and tradition. And yeah, like, what do you want for long term as far as your commitments go, right? This is something that I think you have been pondering about, and learning quite a lot about that, about just like touching deep into this very, beautiful energy of long-term commitment with anything, projects, people, your husband, wife, partner, whoever, friends, to anything that you commit yourself to. I think you're reevaluating it right now, and I think that, with these two cards here, I can see that it's been a long it's been a long road for you, and a lot of it has been painful too, but and a lot of it has made you want to defend yourself. So this card talks about pain, and but it's stories, it's the mind. We can't forget that swords are the suit of the mind. So it's not necessarily that things have been, this is part of stories that have happened to us that we have clung to, but it's the end of something. So it's the 10, right? The 10 is an end of a cycle of pain and ruin. Like, it's like putting that down, being able to raise yourself up, rise above problems. This is what this is, like, rising above it. Like, this is what happens after this woman here is able to take these swords off her back, rising above it, and knowing that sometimes you're gonna have to defend your point of view, and you're gonna have to be there for yourself and for what you believe in, and that things are not always easy, and accepting that not everything has to be harmonious all the freaking time. Okay, life is difficult sometimes, and the more you can accept that, the more you can accept yourself and be in a better relationship with yourself and others, by just accepting, by just learning how to, it's like being at peace with not being completely at peace, like, perhaps, I think when we are young, which you are not anymore, we come into the world with this very innocent outlook, and the more things happen to us, the more it's like baggage, right? Like we start carrying these bags with us through our life, and it becomes less and less peaceful. But the thing is, it's not that it's actually becoming less peaceful. It's just that our perspectives are changing, and we are learning things. We're learning stories about ourselves. We are connecting to other people, and we are going through heartbreaks, and things start to get heavy. And I think that the work is always going back to learning, to that innocent type of energy, but with the knowledge of this exists, but the innocence that is within you is always going to be with you. Well, maybe it's not exactly like it was before because you have all this knowledge, yes, but it's about accepting that life is always going to throw you some curveballs, and being at peace with that is the real work, rather than searching for the peace that you once lived, and the easy peasy lifestyle that is, before you get into hardships. That's never gonna happen again. So you do have to accept that, and you do have to know that the more you live, the more you'll learn, right? And then there are two more cards here that I want to talk about, which are making a decision and then emotion and intellect. So one thing that I do see in this whole reading, looking at everything, is that you have learned, and you know what has caused you heartbreak, what has caused you happiness. And this comes also from your, I guess it also has really made you, this is why I think this relationship with yourself is coming out here, because you've tried to connect to others, and you always end up coming back to yourself. You always come back to you, and then you revise your wisdom, and you revise your innocence, and you revise what makes you happy, right? And so what this is saying is that if you follow your intuition, you're gonna be able to make decisions in the future. And it's actually urging you to make a decision. So it's very it's almost like a very, it's a very specific message, like make a decision about what you're gonna do. Sometimes it's better to follow a plan, especially for Leos, which are fixed signs. I have heard many a times in my life that a Leo without a plan can get a little antsy. So making a decision is something that is going to help you, and the reason why it's coming out is because you know what decision it is that you need to make. And so whatever it is that you do make, whatever decision you do make, it's the right thing to do. So this is why the tarot is asking you to do it. So yeah. With emotion and intellect too, I think that they're I think for each Leo it might be different, so take what resonates for you. But if you have been more intellectual or analytical or logical, I think this is asking you to go a little bit to the other side and balance it out. This is not, Aries had the most incredible reading about balance. Almost every card that came out was about balance. This is the only one for you. And I think that what it's saying is it's really touching base on the balance between emotion and intellect for you, Leo. because you might be tipping the scale either to one side or the other. So just ponder about which one it is and which one you need to give a little more attention to, like if you need to be more vulnerable or if you need to be a little colder, you know, and really work with holding the other side of the scale, or yeah, just balancing this out. Ultimately, I do think you are just in such a wise mode right now. It's like so much about like drawing back inward, touching your wisdom, making decisions, letting go of the stories that hurt you, and then rising above the problems. And then like balancing out your emotions and your intellect. Know that you are being helped in whatever you are committed to, the things that you are committed to, the people you are committed to. Your guides are helping you in some way, and the decision that you need to make about that or about anything else in your life, trust that you're doing the right thing, because all I'm seeing here is like, damn, like really like old sage type of energy. So yeah, you know yourself, love yourself, you're so beautiful, accept yourself, accept others too the way they are, because you know that is just, it's just a mirror. You know, the more you're able to accept things as they are, the more you accept yourself, and then you are at peace. Okay? Or, you know, even if things are not at peace, you are at peace. So, and even if you're not completely at peace, you're working on it, okay? Okay, so I love you so much, Leos. Thank you so much for watching. Please share with your friends if you'd like, or you can contribute to the channel. You can contribute to Black Trans Lives. All the links are down below. And I would love to hear back from you. If it resonates, if you have some feedback, please let me know. And have an amazing July 2020. Bye, loves. Ciao. All right, so we are at 42:25 with Sagittarius. Hello, Sag. How are you doing? I hope you're good. Let me take a sip of my tea because I've been talking to Leo and Aries for the last like 42 minutes. So, okay. So, I got your cards for July 2020. We're gonna open them up and we're gonna show them to you, and then we're gonna interpret them together. So we've got the Fool over here. We have Against the Grain, Tuckus, Booty, 10 of Pentacles. We've got I regard all altars with respect. We have Integrity. We've got New Opportunity. Shining. Kick Up Your Heels. I bet you like that, huh? Watch Your Thoughts. And then it also says here, it's important to only think about what you desire, not what you fear. Then we have the Knight of Pentacles. I love the zebra. Zebras are my favorite. Then we have the King of Cups. And lastly, we've got Caressa. You are at the end of a cycle in your life. Call upon your angels to comfort you and to guide you to your next step. Happiness awaits you now. There it is. Okay, Sag. So Let's see what I'm seeing here. Yeah, I can definitely see the end of a cycle for sure. And I can see a lot of like needing to bring in positivity into your life, or retouch that, like being able to reconnect to the part of you that is silly and fun and joyous, even if it's really hard right now, even if it's difficult to find you know, what to do right now that can make you feel that way. You can get creative. You're creative sign, right? You're creative people, and there is like a newness coming into your life. There's something new coming into your life. In July we have the Fool. The Fool is like, what is newer than the Fool? You know, it's the 0 card. 0. Okay. Starting that new journey, trusting the universe, not being so scared like of falling down on a road path or into the world, not being afraid of breaking your face, not being afraid of, just being completely fearless and fierce, with this very like young type of energy, this very innocent. This is so much, this whole reading, I'm getting really like childlike vibes from this. And it's also kind of like rebellious, like against the grain, right? It's right here. Like you can see in this card that she's swimming underwater, but there are birds. So it's like, you know, you are that type of person. This is what it's saying. Like, what does it feel to be a bird that swims underwater, right? It's something that not a lot of people are used to, and it might be a little you know, just like against the law. It's very rebellious, but it's saying like it's asking you to own that, and really go for that. But you know, always like focus on the integrity that can come with it too. Like yes, going against the grain, but not being a rebel without a cause. You have a cause to be a rebel, you know, and so like connecting to the part of you that is integral. And what does that mean? What does it mean to have integrity, right? Like, what does it mean to be integral? I think that that's something that you can answer yourself about the situations in your life. But whenever you don't feel like yourself, you're not being integral. You're not being honest. You're not being truthful. I think that integrity does have to do a lot with truth and being able to connect to truth and your own truth. It doesn't necessarily mean connecting to other people's truths, or it doesn't mean connecting to the system's truth even. This is perhaps why Against the Grain is here. So it's this truth, and it's this internal truth that you know within you, but maybe other people don't understand it, and that's okay. They can eat, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so I think that there is such beautiful wisdom in childlike and even rebellious types of energy, and I think that it's really asking you here. Everything is asking you here to okay, first let go of what is going, right? We have the 10 of Pentacles. Talks about the end of a physical cycle. And then we have the end of a cycle too here. Cycle in your life, calling upon your angels to comfort you and guide you. And then happiness awaits you. So with these two cards, I think that like taking some time to contemplate and ask for comfort from your guides and even perhaps other people. Like I need comfort right now because something is ending. It might be that it's you're getting out of a job, or it might even be that you lost someone, like there might have been a death or some sort of ending. It could be that a relationship isn't working anymore and so you're leaving it, just anything. Or it can just be some happier ending too. I'm not sure what it pertains to specifically, but you're gonna know more than me. But it is an ending, and it is saying happiness awaits you. And then we have the new opportunity card. So you know, it is new. There's something new coming in. The Fool is here, so new opportunity. The Fool. What else? Let's see. Yeah, these are like, so there are 2 cards saying that something is ending and 2 cards saying that something is coming in, right? And what is coming in seems pretty exciting, and it seems like it's gonna be fun, but it's asking you to watch your thoughts, right? So your mind is very powerful, and it will throw at you a bunch of stuff, okay? It will throw at you some negative stuff, some really positive stuff, usually more negative than positive because that's how humans are conditioned to be. But that's where Against the Grain comes in, right? It's where you sit with yourself and you write down the thoughts that you want to believe in. And even force yourself to have those thoughts sometimes by sitting down and writing them down. Like, what is it that you want to manifest? Because you have a really powerful mind, and you have the power of manifestation right now. Usually when things end and something new comes in, that's that like vacuum place, you know, that void space where you can like really focus on what it is that you want to bring in. So watching your thoughts is really important right now in order to manifest something that you want. With I regard all altars with respect, I would say that this is basically touching base on, again, integrity, because I think it's talking about the way that you are relating yourself to your space and the way that you're relating yourself to your environment, and being integral with what you are doing around you, with the space around you, with the planet around you. It's really important to be integral. Because you're gonna feel so good about yourself for being truthful in your actions towards the spaces that you create. Okay, so make sure, like, the planet Earth is an altar, okay? Your house is an altar. Your altar is an altar. Your body is an altar. Anything that's physical, like taking care of, and sometimes even in your mind, like your mind can be an altar. So how do you want to take care of your mind, your body, your house, your planet, you know, your country, your city, your neighborhood? Like, how can you help make the spaces around you feel taken care of? And I believe also that everything is connected, and all things have a sort of a vibration. They're not necessarily alive, but there's a vibration. And how we relate to physical objects, like if I take this pen and I grasp it really hard and I like am a jerk to it, there is an effect. There is an effect, even if it's not alive. It feels the energy, or maybe it doesn't feel the energy, but it like, you know, there's something that happens there. There's an energy that you're putting out into the world, right? And I think that really, like, focusing on being very integral with your space will help you feel good about yourself, will help you feel good about your space. Your space is gonna feel better, you know. I'm getting like feng shui messages here too, like if you're moving somewhere, maybe look up, or even if you're not moving, even if you just want to change your room or something, look up some feng shui tips on like how to make your house vibrate higher, or how to, you know, like just make your space more alive, or flow, right? Flowing space, like happy flowing space. And with the King of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles, I'm seeing this very beautiful masculine type of energy that is able to sit with emotions, and it's also wanting to ground in order to build something for the future. Because the Knight of Pentacles is the only knight that has its horse, or in this case a zebra. Which, by the way, zebras are all about authenticity, and they are all unique in their own way, even though they look the same. There's not one zebra that is like another. Like all their it's like our fingerprints. They're all different, okay, from each other. So it's a lot about like building community, building a space where you're going to be able to live, but being authentic in it. And the Knight of Pentacles is really grounding down in order to make that happen for the future. And he is, you know, the King of Cups has mastered emotions, right? So he's not afraid of emotions. He is the king of emotions. He is able to almost manipulate, but not in a bad way necessarily. He just knows how to work with it. He works with emotions. He's not uncomfortable with it. He's not learning anymore. He knows about it, right? And so I think that that's a really beautiful card for you, because even though we have this very like kick up your heels energy and the Fool and against the grain, so it's like this very like childlike fun energy, playful, happy, joyous, like bringing this like child from within you to trust, to see the world in a rainbow way, you know, like in a very happy way, and be a rebel, like, you know, go against what the world is telling you to. And this rebel, it can actually be a leader, it can be a pioneer, it can help the world be a better place, because our world isn't doing so good, and it's because we've been doing the same things over and over again. And so, you know, a lot of people will make fun of rebel people and like even judge them harshly about their ways, but those are the people who actually sometimes have answers for a better life, for a better future, for humanity, for, you know, just looking ahead, looking ahead. Like there's something here about looking ahead too, because Knight of Pentacles is here, you know, like letting go of something that does not work anymore in order to find something new, a new opportunity. Step into it, have fun with it. Even having fun with something can be rebellious. Okay, I'm gonna say, because how serious is our world, right? So being fun, being light, being happy, it's underrated, I would say. So yeah, just make sure to watch your thoughts again. Don't believe, you have the power to believe or not believe in your negative thoughts or your positive thoughts. And I will say again, once again, one more time, that we are conditioned to think negative about things. So really work on writing down what it is that you do want to believe for your future, and how it is that you want to ground your energy towards the future, and then act on it in an integral way. Take care of your space, take care of your planet, take care of your city, your home, yourself, your mind, your body. And thank you for being a rebel, and thank you for being a childlike spirit and bringing joy to the world. Okay, Sagittarius, so I hope you have an amazing July. And if you'd like to share or contribute, you can share my video, you can subscribe, you can leave a comment, you can like, and you can also send some money to the Black Trans Lives Matter underneath the link down below. You can also book a personal reading with me. I do astrology, I do tarot, we can talk about solar returns, anything you want, okay, baby? So have a lovely July, and I'll see you next month. Bye.